The Grand Sock Heist. The Mystery Beneath the Laundry. Oliver wasn't the kind of person who believed in mysteries. His life was structured like clockwork. Wake up at 7 a.m., eat 2 pieces of toast with butter, leave for work at 8:30, return home by 6 p.m., and do his laundry every Sunday afternoon. Everything in his life was organized, predictable, and neat. But recently something strange, no, something downright bizarre, was happening to his laundry. It started small. One morning he found that a single sock from his favorite red pair had gone missing. Maybe it got lost in the sheets, he muttered to himself, not giving it much thought. But then the next week another sock disappeared. Then another. And soon half of his sock drawer was filled with mismatched singles. Socks of all kinds, striped, polka-dotted, fuzzy and plain, were losing their partners. It was as if some invisible sock thief was sneaking into his laundry basket and plucking them away, one by one. By week 5 of the sock disappearances, Oliver was at his wits' end. He rummaged through the laundry machine, checked the spaces between the machine and the wall, and even looked under his bed. Nothing. No socks, no clues. It made no sense. He lived alone, locked his doors every night, and his laundry machine wasn't some magical portal to another dimension, or so he thought. How could he be losing socks at such a rapid pace? With his frustration mounting, Oliver decided to take matters into his own hands. One Sunday he devised a plan to catch the thief in the act. He set up a hidden camera inside the laundry room, aiming it directly at the washing machine. He placed a brand new pair of socks in the machine, bright blue ones he hadn't even worn yet, and pressed record. This time he would get to the bottom of this mystery. The next morning, Oliver rushed to check the footage. What he saw made his jaw drop. At first the video seemed normal, just clothes tumbling in the machine, water sloshing about. But then out of nowhere, something small appeared on screen. A tiny figure, no bigger than Oliver's hand, crawled into the washing machine. The figure was dressed all in black like a miniature ninja, its face barely visible under a hood. The little ninja darted around the machine, expertly avoiding the tumbling clothes, and grabbed one of the blue socks. It stuffed the sock into a tiny sack slung over its shoulder and disappeared as quickly as it had come. Oliver replayed the video at least 10 times, trying to make sense of it. Gnomes? Sock-stealing gnomes. He laughed, but it was a nervous laugh. This was impossible. Or at least it should have been. The following week, determined to confront the gnome, Oliver prepared a new plan. He left a note in his laundry basket, carefully written in small, neat handwriting. "Why are you stealing my socks?" Then he set another camera, this time with an extra battery pack just in case. The next morning when he checked his basket, he found a tiny reply waiting for him. The note was scribbled in the smallest, most precise handwriting Oliver had ever seen. "We need them for parachutes." Parachutes? Oliver couldn't stop laughing. What on earth could gnomes possibly be doing with parachutes? He had to find out. That night, he decided to stake out the laundry room. He dimmed the lights and hid behind a pile of dirty clothes, waiting for the sock stealers to arrive. Around midnight he heard a faint rustling. Through the crack under the door he saw something moving, small shadows darting across the floor. Peeking around the corner, Oliver finally saw them. A group of tiny gnomes dressed in black tiptoeing into the laundry room. One of them pulled a sock out of the basket and held it up triumphantly. Before they could leave, Oliver stood up, trying his best not to startle them. "Wait!" he called softly. The gnomes froze in place, their tiny eyes wide with surprise. One of them, slightly larger than the others, stepped forward cautiously. "We didn't mean to steal, human," the gnome said in a high-pitched voice. "We just borrow." "Borrow?" Oliver asked, bewildered. "What for? And why only one sock from each pair?" The gnome scratched his head. "You wouldn't believe it if we told you, but we need them for our travels. Socks make perfect parachutes for us." "Parachutes?" Oliver was more confused than ever. "What do you mean?" The gnome introduced himself as Blip, the leader of a small tribe known as the Sock Gliders. He explained that the gnomes lived in a hidden world just beyond the walls of Oliver's home. The socks, Blip said, were perfect for crafting tiny parachutes that allowed the gnomes to soar through their dense forests, leaping from branch to branch with ease. "One sock is just the right size for us. If we took both, it would weigh us down." Oliver blinked, still trying to process everything. "So, you're using my socks to fly around?" "Exactly," Blip said proudly. "But don't worry, we only take the socks you seem to forget about. We'd never take a pair you truly need." Oliver sighed, a mix of amusement and disbelief washing over him. "Well, next time maybe ask instead of sneaking them away. I'll gladly give you the ones I don't need." Blip's eyes lit up. "Really? You do that?" "Sure," Oliver shrugged. "I've got plenty of mismatched socks already. Why not put them to good use?" And so an unusual friendship formed. Every Sunday, Oliver left out a small pile of single socks, and in return, the gnomes made sure his laundry was always perfectly cleaned, folded, and even slightly scented with lavender. No longer plagued by mysterious sock disappearances, Oliver's life returned to its familiar routine, but with a strange and wonderful twist. From time to time, he'd catch a glimpse of Blip and his crew, soaring across the backyard, tiny sock parachutes billowing behind them as they glided through the trees. And every now and then, when the wind was just right, Oliver could hear their joyful whoops as they drifted by, carried by the wind on their odd yet efficient sock gliders. Life was back to normal, well, as normal as it could be when you were on friendly terms with sock-stealing gnomes,